And we live. Good evening, everyone who's obviously in Melbourne. Hello and welcome. It's time for another exciting episode of IT Career in Australia channel. And today we're offering complimentary live LinkedIn profiles, reviews, and feedback sessions. So thank you everyone who sent us the profiles in advance. Make sure to have your questions ready. And if you didn't send your profile, that's fine. I'm sure you will have an opportunity to get your questions answered anyway. So thank you so much for finding some time for joining our session. Please don't forget to introduce yourself in the comments. Let us know what you do and join our conversations with your questions and comments, or at least say hi in the comments, because if you're here and you're saying hi, it's nice because we know that you're here. I'm Jana Martins, if you forgot, and I'm currently talent and community lead in IT consultancy. And I'm here every week at 5:30 p.m. running those streams and inviting people from the industry to discuss different topics about IT career in Australia. And obviously just the usual housekeeping. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to find me on LinkedIn. If you're watching us on LinkedIn, make sure to join my YouTube channel. Subscribe, of course, subscribe and join Meetup group as well, especially if you're in Melbourne, because we do have face-to-face in Melbourne as well. The next one coming up on 6th of October in Albert Park and Lake. So, and make sure to join my tech working group as well. So anyway, thank you for saying hi. There's a few people here. Jatin is here, Liz is here, Midaf is here. Thank you guys for being here. And without any further delays, I'm going to pass it to our speakers to introduce themselves. Please, Jonathan, we'll start with you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jonathan Maltby. I'm not in Melbourne. I'm on the Sunshine Coast. That's why I'm wearing a t-shirt today. So I am a career coach and mentor. I am an ex-recruiter. And so, as you can imagine, I would have spent a lot of time on LinkedIn looking for the perfect candidate. So hopefully be able to apply that lens to kind of adding some value to people's LinkedIn profiles today.
Perfect, Jonathan. Yes, yeah. I mean, Melbourne had a good weather too, so I'm not that upset.
Yeah.
Over to you, Ben.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Ben Wood. I'm a career coach and IT CV writer. I run a small company called CV Writers and IT CV Writers, and I've been developing CVs and LinkedIn profiles for people in the tech industry for the last 8 years. And prior to that, I had a background in the tech industry. So I worked for a New Zealand software startup company for about 7 years and Telstra for 11 years in engineering and product development roles. And Jana, lovely to be back with you and your audience today. So looking forward to the session.
Yes, perfect. I'm looking forward to this session too. Will be a fun one. And obviously, welcome everyone. Thank you for saying hi. If you didn't say hi, make sure to say hi. This session is perfect for everyone in IT industry, especially if you're looking for work. But one thing I want to mention, even if you're not actively looking for work, your LinkedIn profile is always visible. It's always there. People can search for you. And if you didn't update your LinkedIn profile and people search for you and they see the old information there. So if you set up your LinkedIn profile correctly, it can actually attract the right opportunities and hopefully attract it in the right time. So, you might be not looking for a job right now, but in a year, you're ready for it, and then you suddenly start updating LinkedIn profile last minute, and maybe just a week before someone looked at your profile and just didn't see that they wanted to see there. So anyway, also drop in the comments, guys, when the last time you updated your LinkedIn profile. So when was last time you actually opened it, especially if you've been in one job for a while? When was last time you actually opened your LinkedIn profile and made some changes, update the experience, update the headline? Would be really curious to know. So anyway, without any further delays, we're gonna dive straight into the reviews. So today today is all about live reviews and giving the advice to people who send us their profiles. Justine saying last night, here you go. You are preparing for today's stream and making sure to update things. Perfect. Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna share our first profile that been sent to me. It's Nitin. And I'm gonna go one by one. We'll get some feedback from both our speakers, and maybe I'll add something as well if I can't resist. So anyway, let's start with Jonathan. Jonathan, what is your feedback when you're looking at the Nitin's profile?
All right, here we go. I would say the first thing that I'm looking at here is that if I was looking for talent, I'm always going to look for something that really pops out and stands out from the rest of the crowd, mainly also from a visual perspective. So Nitin really should focus on trying to find some sort of background to differentiate himself. And that's that zone that you're hovering your mouse over. That would be the first thing. Go on. I find the website, if you haven't got something of your own website or your own kind of imagery, jump onto one of those stock photography websites like Unsplash.com and go and find something that you find really kind of captures what you and your career is all about. Sometimes people use Canva, for example, and Canva's got some great templates in there. You can put some words in there. You're going to see some examples of some ones that I think were really good that we're doing here. So that would be the first thing I would say is get yourself a nice background just to kind of make your LinkedIn kind of stand out and pop, because people, they're visual to start off with. Then we start looking at the words. All right. The next thing I would say on Nitin's is he hasn't customized the headline. And this is often in a very underutilized sort of area. There we go. He's called himself Master of Technology at Federation University. And, LinkedIn auto-populates this for you. It looks at your current role and where you're at and does it for you. But if you're not branding yourself here, and this is where your brand really comes into play and can really kind of differentiate you, tell people what you are. I mean, yeah, right now you are doing your Masters of Technology at Federation, but that's not who you are really as a professional in your field. I'm looking at them going, what are you exactly? And that's, if I'm looking for a specific role to recruit for and that doesn't come up there, you're probably going to get missed. You're probably not going to jump on there. So go and find something. I think you've got like 240 characters that you can use in that particular spot there to really kind of think about how can I brand myself that makes it interesting, that people will want to find out more. Think of it as like your headline of a newspaper. And by the way, if you're on LinkedIn to kind of find a job, this is a sales and marketing exercise. This is your brochure. This is your glossy brochure or your website that's trying to sell something, and you're the thing they're trying to sell. So fix up that, definitely. I don't know if you want to scroll down a little bit more. There we go, the about section. Let's have a look at that. Ambitious IT professional, 3 years of experience in specializing in quality assurance and enterprise systems, passionate about problem solving, achieving targets, and finding customer oriented. Okay, I find that is a little bit generic. Passionate about problem solving. What problems do you love to solve? And think about the ones that bring the most value to an organization. So many people call themselves problem solvers, but don't actually talk about exactly what problems they can solve. That's what people want to know. What problems can you solve? Because that's where your value lies. Finding customer-orientated solutions. What customer-orientated solutions are you able to get specific? Talk about, this is often a very underutilized area, this particular spot. This is your story. This is your brand. And if you're not grabbing people's attention here, then you're going to miss out. And by the way, make this keyword optimized as well, because that's what, when we're doing, when we're searching for people, we're looking for those particular keywords. And the more keywords, industry specific keywords that you have in there, the more it's going to kind of trigger those search engines as well. Currently pursuing a master's degree in enterprise systems. You know what? Tell me about. I really want to know the person behind these things as well. I want to know what drives you. What are you interested in? What do you bring to the table? So you really want to kind of fatten that story up. But you've got to think 2,500 characters that you can use there. Get creative. That's what I would say. No excuse. I mean, a lot of people can use sort of the AI to populate those things now, but I wouldn't copy and paste directly from AI. I would always look at the AI as a bit of a creating a scaffolding, and then go in and personalize it. Put your personality into this particular part. Yeah, do you want to go down? Let's have a look down. Experience Tata. Okay, well-known organization. This is where what a lot of people do. They describe what they've done, but not in the relation to where they want to go. So yeah, good for highlighting that. So if you think about, and you can do this in your CV as well, if you've got a job in mind or an area of market sector or industry sector that you want to go into, go and have a look and going, right, how do I need to align my experience to where I want to go? So often you could go look at a job advert or a range of job adverts of the areas that you want to go into, go and have a look at the roles and responsibilities of those roles, and then describe what you've done using similar language. It creates alignment. Don't talk about what you're responsible for. This guy didn't, which is good. Talk about what you actually did. The devil is in the detail. Again, optimize it for search engine, for LinkedIn search as well. So lead end-to-end quality assurance for e-commerce website. Too vague. You're undercapitalizing on really talking about your expertise. Like, what was the end-to-end? What did that involve? What was the functionality of the e-commerce? Was it a big one? Was it a small one? You said implemented automation strategies, reducing manual effort. That sounds excellent. Go into more detail. How did you do that? What tools did you use to do that? So really get into the guts there. Assistant systems engineer. Let's have a look at that one. Spearheaded major incident resolution. Again, go into the details more than anything else. I think you're undercapitalizing on your experience and expertise there. And then an intern involved in the organizational study of electropersonal. Okay, well that's all right, because it was an internship role, so that's fine. Licenses, certifications, that's all good. And skills. What I find with the skills section, I find less is more in that particular. That's just kind of my opinion. Less is more. So if you've got a particular set of roles that you want to go into, only put the skills that are relevant to those roles. The more skills you add, the more you end up being nothing to no one, if that makes it. You're just kind of throwing everything. Be specific. And I would say, yeah, as I said, less is more in that particular area. So go and look at the critical skills needed for the roles you want to get into, and then populate that. Yeah, that's my feedback on that one.
There you go. I think, we already have covered a lot of main points here. I guess, Ben, is there anything, without going to too much details before we jump to next profile, but is anything in particular really kind of jump in your eye when you look at Nitin profile?
Yeah, look, I definitely echo a lot of the points that Jonathan made and agree there. I think to put it a different way, but to agree with what Jonathan was saying, I think there's an intent. You need an intent with your profile, right? So while you're studying, and you want to shape your brand and shape your profile to suit that purpose, right? So if you're completing your study, what's your purpose right now? It might be to seek internships, part-time role, or you might just be expanding your network to capitalize on that network when you graduate. So that purpose there needs to be like reflected. Like, why would if Nitin reached out to connect with me, why would I connect with him? What's going on for him? So that's where you can use that headline. Like if you're currently seeking an internship, that's a good thing to write in your headline, right? So yeah, definitely go away you've definitely got to modify the generic default headline, and that obviously just shows some intent there and some thought into what you're doing. Yeah, agree on the background. You can even get you can get a really high impact background made up for a small amount of money if you're not a graphic designer yourself. You can go and just get one custom made. But yeah, agree with changing that. Around that intent too, like in the about section, you should be, and our intent changes over time, right? So when you're a job seeker, the intent is to find work. So your profile needs to be keyword optimized the job titles you're going for the skills that you have. So they show up on recruiter searches, that your ranking is high on those searches. So there's a certain intent. When we get a job, our intent shifts, and we might be about networking, and we want to have a good profile. So that would kind of influence the content that we put in, particularly that headline section. But yeah, 240 characters in the headline. I would say in most cases you should try to use all of them, and have something in there about what your situation is at the moment and job titles. But yeah, if it's internship, you can put that in. Look, what I would say, I noticed US spelling too. I'm a bit picky about that. I think it leaps off the page at me. It's one of my pedantic things that I spotted that. And just in that about section too, and there's some examples of this in the other profiles that we're reviewing today of this being done really well, is I want to see that a bit more visual impact with the about section, break it up into some bullet points and some sections, have some headings. And I think there's some missed opportunities here with Nitin, because he's got 3 years of experience, and potentially at TCS, one of the largest consulting companies in the world, right? What clients did you work with? What industry sectors? You worked on some projects, you collaborated with product managers and so on. There's some good stuff there, right? So I would be in the about section having a section that actually talks about some of those things. And as Jonathan was quite rightly saying, going into a bit more detail, what were the industry sectors? Who were the clients? What was the size of the projects, size of the project teams? Was it agile? Was it DevSecOps environment? What were the test automation tools you used? Because you've got the basis there. Now you might want to go in a different direction with your career. Maybe you don't want to stay in test automation, but if you've got that test automation skill set, it's valuable to put that down. I don't believe in just like filling all the section, filling up your section with fluff. But there is some interesting points there which I think could make a higher impact in that about section. In terms of having system engineer as a job title, one of the really high impact things you can do with LinkedIn is optimize your job titles. So system engineer brackets test automation engineer or brackets business analyst, or you can, and you're the master of this, right? You can go through and modify your past roles to include like however you want to do it, in brackets or just a little dash. So assistant system engineer / support analyst, and those when recruiters are doing searches to find you, those job titles of past and current roles have a very high weighting in the algorithm. So yeah, for job seekers, definitely optimize those job titles. I wondered if there's an opportunity to add a project section here, to add that to the profile. I didn't see one there. So I think given the TCS 3 years there's probably some opportunity to add, so you can go and edit, add that profile section called projects and enter in some of the details. And again, it just fills in some of the, so when you add a project, it gives you an opportunity to talk about the tech stack, the size of the team, the methodologies you might have used, the standards that you might have used, and maybe just a quick one-liner about what phase did you work in. Was it design? Was it test? Was it deployment? So yeah, there's a few opportunities to enrich the content there on the page. Yeah, just last point. I think, yeah, skills, I agree. It's a tricky thing to get right. And I do think kind of less is more. And you want to, you really want to tailor those to, again, what's the intent? Where do you want to go to next? And just highlight those, I'd say, top 5. You don't really want to focus on many more than that. I feel like skills is maybe a missed opportunity for LinkedIn, that they haven't. I don't know whether there's a consistent application of it across the board, or how much it actually informs the recruitment process in LinkedIn. So yeah,
you can search by skills in LinkedIn Recruiter as well. So, and that can affect it. And here's actually a really good example, because the title is system engineer, but the top skills is testing. So it already can create a bit of a confusion in the search. You know, when you put like search system engineer or test engineer, or you put the test engineer in the search, but the Nitin might not come up because his title is a system engineer. So yes, so kind of thinking about those keywords. And one thing actually completely irrelevant, but it could sometimes. I'm not sure, Nitin, why you know, what's your full name? Why you needed to put the like kind of the dots between your name? Because that could be confusing to find you sometimes. If I remember, I've spoken to Nitin and I'm trying to find you, and I don't remember the initials and stuff. So that could be distracting. You might need to maybe think about, you know, how to simplify your name to put it on LinkedIn. I know it's, you know, not always the case. Like I shortened my name on LinkedIn as well. So it just helps people to remember you as well.
And just one last thing, Jana, sorry to butt in. Just while we were talking about job titles, because I just remembered quite a clever hack that I've recommended to quite a few students, which is you can actually add your studies as the top role in your experience section. So you can add a current role that says student master of technology, but here's the useful bit. You can put in brackets there. So you put student master of technology, brackets, test automation engineer. If that's the role you want to go for, or you could put graduate engineer. And it's a clever hack because it actually gives you a useful job title in your current position. So that's one I recommend for students.
Yeah, and maybe even a bit of a clarity in terms of like, are you actually in Australia? Did you already move to Australia?
Yeah, that was a bit confusing for me. Yeah.
It does show like obviously Victoria, but you know, there's no really information like, because it still says India on the company. But let's move on. I'm sure there's like a lot of examples. I think we already like covered so many tips in one profile, but also cautious of time, so we can at least spend like, you know, five minutes on each profile, give people specific tips. Ben, would you like to start first with the profile for Renish?
Renish, yeah, love to. Awesome background. Love the photo. You know, photos are really important. It's so important, you know, and we want to work with people who are friendly, approachable, look like they'd be, you know, fun to have a coffee with as well. So don't go all like serious looking on your photo. I like that. I'd probably rather see it cropped in a little bit. I'd like to see a sort of tighter crop so your face is really recognizable on your profile if I were to meet you in person. But love it. And I really like the link there to, I'm not sure if that's your portfolio or an app demo of your work, you know, brilliant, love it. And see how we've got the job titles in there, and you could even do a bit more than that if you want. You could have web developer, front-end developer, UX designer, or if those are the roles you're looking at. But that's a really good use of the headline there, and it's telling a story. You could also maybe add a little bit more to that. So if you're currently, you know, studying, or you know, there's a bit more space there, I would say. But so far, so good. Yeah, going down to the about section. Again, like, you know, what's good here is we've got technical skills listed, and I like the proficient and exposure. I like that. It's actually giving the recruiter, the hiring manager, information that's critical for their decision making, right? So I like that. But I feel there's an opportunity here to maybe talk about the mission, like what's for you next, what are the target roles. And again, you know, with work experience behind you, I think there's an opportunity here to have some bullet points and sections. So you can create sections here in the about area with that 2,500 characters you've got by using blank lines. You can use dashes, and this it doesn't allow rich formatting, but you can use some symbols and things like that, and little headings with capital letters, just to, you know, add a few extra. We still want it to be appealing to read. I like the fact that this is like the paragraphs here are only 3 lines long. And I can skim read this and instantly, like if I was looking for a JavaScript web developer, I've instantly kind of skim read that and I go, oh yeah, JavaScript, Node.js, tick, tick, web developer. And then I'd go back and read the rest of it because I'm on the right track, I've got the right signals. So we want to keep in mind that, breaking up big blocks of text, bullet points, headings, things like that, because people are, recruiters are going to be going through profile after profile after profile, and yet you want to grab their attention and then get them to come back and read more thoroughly. If you want to go down to the experience section. Now, could you keep going down a bit more, Jana? I think I just wanted to emphasize, so whether you've got software developer there and support specialist, I think like support specialist is kind of a non-standard job title, right? So this is where I would definitely recommend to have something alongside that. So it might be support specialist, IT support analyst, or help desk analyst, or and you can have multiple, right? You can also even put, like, for example, the job title software developer. You could put software developer brackets, JavaScript, Node.js, or something like that. You can keyword optimize those job titles as well, just with words and brackets after that. And that's actually like really effective. That will also match like multiple search terms, right? Like it'll match Java software developer. You could put front end and brackets, So there are a few little hacks like that. But you see, I will continually talk about job titles in LinkedIn. It's one of the most important areas of your profile, I really believe.
Maybe I'll just do a quick one, guys. And the reason, I guess, why Ben keep talking about the titles, when the recruiter looking at the profiles, for recruiter, for example, if in the search I'll put junior software engineer and click the search button, that's all I will see. I wasn't gonna see your profile straight away. I'll see just the snippets like that. And you can see that I will only see the headline and the titles with the time. And if those titles completely doesn't coincide with what I'm looking for, then it's obviously the lower chance, that the recruiter gonna click on this profile. So that's why, it seems like kind of obvious, but title is, yes, really important, especially if you think that if it's a junior recruiter who maybe don't know that some of the position is a kind of like have a similar responsibilities, they might not pick up that the person who doing this role can do this role and things like that. So that's why, that's what Ben mentioning about mentioning those things in brackets and different titles it could be quite important to come up in the searches.
I think there's a good example of the project. I think Renish has got some projects down here as well. So there's a good example, and there's a link there which is really cool. And that's a really good example right there. And this can be an academic project, this could be a volunteering project. So if you're starting out in your career and you're struggling to sort of build your profile, this is a great thing that you can add to your add to LinkedIn to show a bit of your real work.
Yeah. Jonathan, over to you. Anything briefly to mention to Renish before we jump to the next profile?
Yeah, I really like this profile. I can see that Renish he's a smiley chap, and I like it when people smile in their photographs. It's not a mugshot. You're not going to jail. So I always say, smile, connect with people. That's a lovely photo. And you know what's also good? He goes, firstly, I love coding. And you can see there's a personality match there, smiling, and he's telling me what he's passionate about. I really like that. Just going up, one of the things that I really did like was that he put his portfolio in there, and I actually clicked on it, and I went to go and see his portfolio. I could see what he was talking about. It's visual, it's there, and I really liked that as well. So he's added that dimension there, which was really, really good. I wanted to see a little bit more, I think, from his about section. It started off good, But then it's like he says, I love coding. I want to know, what do you love coding? Why did you love coding? What is it about coding that you love? When you start off in your career, the only thing you've got really, you haven't got much information you can put in. So talk about your motivations. What are your hopes and dreams, your aspirations for your career sort of going forward as well? I do like it that he's put in what he's proficient at and his exposure to as well, because as recruiters, we're looking to match those technologies very, very, very quickly. And that's good that he's made that kind of stand out as well. Just going to what Ben was saying, and there's an example of it coming up in someone else's profile about actually using sections. Now, LinkedIn doesn't do a good job of formatting, but you can use capitals. Another thing you can go, if you just type in LinkedIn emojis or LinkedIn symbols in Google, you can actually go, there's a plethora of hundreds and hundreds of emojis that you can use to kind of break things up a bit. And you just copy and paste that emoji. Instantly, it gives your what could be a boring black and white text real kind of flavor, pizzazz, so to speak, in there as well. So definitely do that. I like it that he's got activity in there as well. He's engaged with the platform. Look at that. That's beautiful. All of those things that you can copy and paste. Have fun. A LinkedIn profile doesn't have to be stuffy and boring. Put your personality into it. Make yourself stand out. I like it that he's got some posts in there. He's obviously, he's interacted with the platform. He's got some likes and some shares. So that's really, really good. Under his experience section, that was good as well. Software developer, vet check internship. I'm not seeing what he did there. And I would really like to see that, because if he's going into software, that's one of his only things that he's really got in terms of real world experience. Even though it was an internship, it's still absolutely valid. So I would want to put something in there like, what did you work on? Tell me what the environment was like. Even if it was remote, you still have gained that sort of experience there. The rest of the stuff I think was good. Kind of like what Ben was saying. He's got some projects in there. He's taken the time to fatten those sections up, which is good. Yeah, it's good.
Perfect. Let's jump to next one, so that make sure that we have time for majorities. So Lizzie have a bit different profile, different, not normal software engineering. So, Jonathan, please start and with your feedback.
Sure. Okay, missing a background. Definitely put a background in there. Lovely smile in the photo, but the photo's a little bit low res, so it's very kind of blurred. So I would probably get a better photo. Definitely like the smile, keep the smile, but probably use a better high res photo. Again, generic headline, you are not your job title. Missed opportunity there to tell me what you actually are. You are not your job title. Think bigger. Think, where do I want to go and how do I need to position myself? You have, again, 240 characters. Some people use what I call an impact statement, where you tell people what you are, what you do, and an outcome, helping organizations achieve greater customer experience or whatever that is. So fatten that up as well. Definitely. About section was, it was okay. It was okay. I probably wanted to see a little bit more. She's using kind of nice industry words here. I think I just wanted to see a bit more of a story. Again, people don't go into the background so much. Like, I started off as this, but my passion lay in this. And so I moved into this particular area in there. I love it that she has started off with her passion. Let's have a look there. 3 different countries. She says, I've worked in IT support and development. I've worked in 3 different countries. Not sure what the relevance of 3 different countries is or how that can be enhanced, unless, of course, you explain it, which probably means, hey, I've been exposed to different types of cultures, different types of development environments, different types of working environments. I would look at that and going, well, why is that relevant? Why have you put that in there? I do like the fact that she's personalized it at the end. I love to travel. I'm never without my camera. That to me shows a little bit of personality. That is, she's more than her job, and I liked that. Let's go into there. Show all posts. I oversee the WalkMe digital. I measure the impact. One of the things that a lot of people don't usually do, and they forget to do when they're doing their experiences, tell me what impact you've had on the organization. What did you achieve? Because you want, when somebody reads that, a potential hiring manager, they look at that, they're going, wow, if you managed to achieve that for that organization, I would love to see you achieve that for mine. That's where your value is. And that is your skills and experience in action. So achievements also provide context. I always say to have a good achievement, find something that was broken and wrong in the organization. And what did you do to fix it? And what was the outcome? It could be a projects, but there is a project section about there. It just could be something that you've made better just to kind of boost your value in there as well. Lead, technical. Okay, so unfortunately, there's quite some stuff that's sort of missing. Just in terms of describing what she did in those roles. And I think that's has been put at missed opportunities. Again, make it keyword rich if you want to be triggering those searches to come up in there as well. Education licenses, that's all good. Good, she's got some volunteering in there. That's excellent. And then her skills section is good as well. Yep, that's my...
Also, Lizzie has a few questions here.
Yeah.
She's asking, is it worth linking to case studies? And also, how many projects should I add?
Okay, so LinkedIn is like an insatiable beast. It loves to consume information. The more information you feed it, the more you rank, the more you will come up in searches as well. Chuck in maybe 3 projects max. People don't tend to go into there. It's there if they want to read it. So go in maybe say 3. So sort of 3 projects would be I would say a good one. What was the other question? That was it. How many projects?
Case study.
Yeah. A case study, definitely put in a case study if you can. As I said, the more information you can put in there, the better. It provides context for the type of work that you have been doing. And it also gets the ability to kind of showcase some of those skills and areas of expertise within your field as well. Yeah.
And case study can go to featured section. I actually haven't seen any featured section with any of the profiles. But if I click on mine quickly, is also you can do the featured where is it, featured section, where you can actually link some of the posts that you really like. You can link some of the links to other people posts. You can do links to your website, so you can really kind of showcase what's important for you. I usually update the section. I update it weekly because I run weekly discussions. So I put up the next discussion that's actually going live now. So, and then I'll swap it for next week. So that's a really good place to put those case studies and project and portfolios and things like that. Ben, over to you. Anything to quickly add to Lizzie?
Yeah, look, Jonathan's covered the main points well that I picked up when I had a quick look at this. I think there was a publication listed there without much detail, and I felt like that there was an opportunity there to add a little bit more substance to that. Yeah, featured media is one of the things that I wrote down because I did think throughout your experiences, Lizzie, that there's bound to be things you could link to, right? And that featured media is really sensational for providing that real world validation, of your work. Could be a technical portfolio, could be a media release, just could be a link to a website that you've worked on and launched. Now, there is a lot of short-term roles in this too. So if I was looking at this profile, I feel like some explanation needs to be added for roles where you've got 4 months, 9 months, and you've really got to lean into that, guys. If you've got this situation, I mean, it depends. If we're troubleshooting, right? Are we troubleshooting a situation where Lizzie might be applying for roles and not getting interviews? I would say, well, let's have a look at the history. I would love, where you've got a 4-month role, I would have a description that says brought in to deliver X, completed and handed over to, the business or whatever it is, right? But you need to have something in there that's like, okay, I was brought in to do this. I nailed it. So I moved on, job done. And if it's a contract role, make sure you add that detail in there. Yeah, and then it looks favourable to you. Actually, you came in, you nailed it. The 4 months was all you needed to deliver that project, right? But that needs to be in there. Otherwise, it's actually adding a bit of a risk factor. And sometimes, if you had a series of those roles, again, I'm not talking specifically about you, Lizzie, but generally, if we're troubleshooting why someone isn't getting calls or what have you, you might even take some of those roles out of your profile if you've got a 3-month role here and a 4-month role here, because it's raising more concerns than adding value.
Guys, cautious about the time, I feel like so many information. Let's move a little bit quicker. We have 3 more profiles we want to look at today. And actually, for those guys who think about asking if your profile can be reviewed, before posting an event, I usually put my email address where you can send the profile. So that's the people who email me LinkedIn profiles in advance. So if you're running the next session, so make sure to send your profiles in advance. Unfortunately, we don't have time to add any other profiles to the stream straight away. Anyway, Ben, over to you, Joanne.
Yeah, great. So I think we might have the award for best smile of the day here on Joanne's profile. Lovely. Really love it. I'd probably like that photo to be cropped in a bit closer again. I think we want your face to be instantly recognizable when we go from the offline to in real life interaction. But you love that. Love the background. And here's well done, Joanne, for what you've done there. This is a textbook, example of how good your background can be, and how it actually significantly adds to your brand there. Just it looks great. It's talking about what you're about, human-centered design and storytelling. Love it. Maybe you've chosen a minimalist design theme for your headline, but you've got a lot more space to. So product designer. Again, and what's the intent now of this role? So, for example, if your intent was to find a different job, if you're in the job market, you'd probably put some alternative job titles in there, like product designer, UX designer, or whatever's right for you. But I'd probably use a few more characters there, and that could also add to your. You might talk about human-centered design, for example, and storytelling. So, depending on your situation, that headline can be used with a little one-liner that's talking about your intent, or what you're about. But yeah, love that. The about section, I think, is another aspect of this profile that's just been executed really well. So here we have this, and I love this, focusing on the problems that you can solve for the employer. These are some of the challenges that you might have. Here's the link to my portfolio. I think you can put that portfolio link up in your profile, like one of the earlier profiles had, which would be even better because it's just one click away. It can go up in that space. So of course, I have to copy paste that, but I would. But here you see, look how beautifully this is laid out, and it's kind of engaging to read, isn't it? Dear Tech Recruiter, reading my profile. Hey, this is about me. So yeah, I really like that. And I think there's a good, if I'm not mistaken, there was a good use of featured media here as well. Is that right? Yeah. So great. Yeah. So yeah. The not much of a write-up. You've just joined that role in Scene Culture, or it's an internship, but as soon as you can, add some content there. But when I look through the rest of the experience section here, it's well executed. See how the skills the skills are linked here. We've got specific detail, led a 10-person design team, so there's facts and details there, and it's also broken up so I can sort of skim read that quite easily. So yeah, Joanne, well done. I think this is a really great profile.
Perfect. Jonathan, anything quickly to add for some feedback? And we even have recommendations. Here we go. So I think we haven't done the recommendations before. That's, the whole beast there, like how you can ask for recommendation, and, is a lot of strategy around it. But I think something definitely to make sure to keep in mind.
Yeah, I really liked this profile. It was something so different. So there's a huge degree of originality in this one. If I was a recruiter looking for a product designer, UX designer, I'm going to be reaching out to Joanne. I thought this was really good, really enjoyable. I like the way that she sold herself. She's put a personality into it. She's used a bit of humor in it. I find that I can almost connect with that personality because of the way she's sort of laid it out. Again, a little bit of a missed opportunity with the headline just saying product design. I know that she's used it in the banner, but then search engines can't read the text inside an image. So so I would move some of that stuff into there, or just fatten up that product designer there. That was really good. One of the things that I've noticed that a lot of people are missing, and this is not and look, everything else on her profile is great, but one of the things that you're missing, if you want to get a job, you want to showcase your stuff, start using LinkedIn as a proactive tool. Start posting. If you've got stuff in good knowledge in your head, get that out. Start posting, start creating articles, start contributing. Video. I do a video almost every single day, or I post every single day. The more you feed LinkedIn, the more it rewards you by attracting opportunities to you. A lot of people I didn't see doing many kind of posts or thought pieces or videos or anything else like that. Very underutilized. If you're looking for jobs, you got to be putting yourself out there and raising that visibility. Apart from that, I really liked it. I really liked the way that she's included some case studies in there. She's got some diagrams in there, and she's really taken the time to go into the details of her experience in nice short bullet points. I love this profile.
Perfect. Thank you. Jumping quickly to the next one, over to Jonathan. Over to you. You're starting this one first. Vidaf.
All right, Vidaf. Yeah, look, nice background. Yeah, the photos okay. Maybe better if we could connect with his eyes. If he looked at the camera, but that's all right. Business systems analyst. Okay, so he's used more of a bullet point style headline. Perfectly fine. That's good. He's got some keywords in there as well, which is really good. Business systems, ERP and CRM, certified Prince 2 practitioner, and Scrum Master. I thought that was quite good. He's thought about optimizing that headline, which is great as well. I'm a seasoned. So I was reading this the other day, and I was a little bit confused about this one here, because although he's put some nice information, he goes, I'm a seasoned business system analyst. And then he says he's got 2 years experience. That's not quite seasoned. Seasoned, in my understanding, is someone who's been around a bit longer than 2 years. But hey, good on you for giving it a crack. Business system analyst, processes and implementing ERP with a master's in information. That's all good. I like the use of detail that he's got here. I like it that he's actually put in what he's done as well. So, I've generated profitability reports. He's used some HANA in there. He's got some Azure. He's got Power BI. So he's incorporated some of those technologies into that, which is great. And then he's got what I like, he's got a call to action. He's got, let's connect and explore synergies. A lot of people miss out on that. Again, a call to action, a CTA, is a critical marketing tool. And you'll see in all websites, whenever you're selling something, you want your audience or your potential customer to do something. He's invited them to do something. Connect with me. Let's explore. I like that. That's good. What else have we got here? He's got some
feature section. Here we go.
Yeah. And then his experience. He's got some internship in there as well. Let's have a look at that.
Sharing good content. That's my live stream. So,
There we go. If you're sharing, if you're contributing and you're sharing and you're engaging with that platform, I think it's a really good sign. You're not being a passive user of LinkedIn. You're actually engaging with the platform, and that's
Here's a good example, guys. If you're enjoying this live stream, just share it on your LinkedIn profile and said, "Learn the great tips from today." Here's your LinkedIn content. Boost your visibility, boost my visibility. Like win-win.
Absolutely. One of the things I also like, he's taken the time to fill out his experience sections, and he's used like bullet points there that talk about that. He's even quantified some of those things by saying achieved 80% staff utilization and provided senior management with useful data insight. He's given the right details, I think, that makes people sit up and go, oh, wow, that's cool. And then he's got that in there. He's got education licenses. Good that he's put in his projects as well. And he's got 52 skills. Oh my gosh. I would probably I would look at maybe going, well, what area do you want to go into, and just putting those particular skills in there as well. So maybe 52 skills, I think, is the max. You don't have to use the max of all of those skills. So maybe think about narrowing those down a bit. There we go. That's me.
Here we go. Ben, something to add for Vidar?
Yeah, look, I like the profile a lot. I would agree with I think that photo, you're looking a little bit cool there, Vidar, looking off to the side there. I probably just like a more traditional photo so I can connect with your eyes and see your face fully. But look, it's really well done, this profile. If you're after a role as a BA, I think you need to have that business system analyst is not really the best industry standard job title to have. And I think searchers will pick that up because of the word business and analyst, but you're better off to really tightly align what's in your headline to your target roles. So that could be BA, it could be IT BA, it could be digital BA, agile BA. There's a lot of variations, and you have to sort of do your research. I'm not suggesting you need to have 20 job titles in your headline, but so technical BA is a good one, and I would just be a little bit careful about what you've got in your headline, because it is so important to have the right job title in there. And I think there's an opportunity. So I talked already. So this is another opportunity where you could actually add your student experience in. Student name of qualification, and in brackets technical BA, and that would give you that technical BA as it. But he actually has technical BA as his current job title, which is really giving your profile a big boost in the LinkedIn algorithm for searches. So that's good. In the about section, I really like that. I'm really big on consuming information in bullet point forms. So there's big blocks of paragraphs of text. I think you need to, I would be breaking some of those out into a little bullet point with a headline that says cloud or enterprise applications or Salesforce. So I can skim down your profile and say, Salesforce. Okay, 6 months of experience working on a Salesforce implementation. Because people are just, recruiters are busy, they're flicking through all these profiles and they're looking to tick the boxes in a few areas. So I think having big blocks of text is just something I would generally advise people to steer away from. But yeah, otherwise.
Remember a bunch of images here.
Smiley face. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yes. Cool. Last profile, and also we have quite a few questions from the audience. Maybe we can try to do our best. Ben, starting with you, some feedback for Gabriel.
Yeah, sure. So again, background. I like the photo. I think that's great. Nice smile there. Great use of the headline. So that's probably all 240 characters odd used there. So that's well done. If you keep scrolling down, Jana. Again, my preference, I'm going to keep repeating myself, but I would be just breaking that down into some key areas. For example, like IoT might be, the reason that a recruiter is going to land on your profile and hire you. And people need to lean into those aspects of your experience which give you an edge over the competition. So saying, for example, I've got 2 years of experience working with IoT test in the test automation of IoT devices, right? That's a cool thing. And I'd maybe have that as like a little section, and you kind of need to think these things through, but, lean into what makes you, what makes you stand out. And that could be industry sector experience. It could be particular technologies or applications, particular domains. So I'm just picking IoT as an example there, but that's where I would have a little section, IoT test automation as in a little heading and maybe a couple of bullet points, or even a project. You can also put a project in the about section in a little area. There may be something that you worked on, that's one of your top sort of crowning achievements. Yeah, I think functional job titles too, senior lead test engineer. It's pretty close to industry standard, but, test lead. So I would have senior lead test engineer brackets test lead, just so you've got that, if test lead is your next job title you're targeting, that you've got that standard title in there. And testing supervisor brackets test lead again, So create that consistency in your history, and also lead test engineer brackets IoT, for example. So you can put technologies into that headline there, that again is really targeting the types of searches that recruiters are going to do to find specialist tech resources. Overall, though, I think this is a really good quality profile. I think there's good content in here. And we've got, recommendations. That's really fantastic.
Cool. We really have just a few minutes left. Jonathan, is there something quickly you would like to add for Gabriel?
Yeah, very quickly. Everything is fine, exactly what Ben was saying. I think the only thing is that about section needs to have more of the personality in it. And the reason I say that is because test engineering in Australia, it's not always the biggest industry so much anymore, because a lot of that sort of stuff is kind of offshore. So you have to do something to really amplify your value and what you bring to the table. Test engineers, they break stuff. That's their job at the end of the day. They break stuff so that people can make it better. Put your personality into it. Find a way to kind of differentiate yourself from all the others. Tell me why you love it. Tell me, like, you've got a whole lot of technical stuff in there and that, and look, it's fine, but put some of you into that. I mean, you've come from Brazil, you're here now. Tell us a little bit about your journey. Like, this is the thing, is that it doesn't have to be boring kind of just tech information. Get people to know your personality, because that's what people connect with. One of the things I do like about what Gabriel has done is he's actually got posts. He's actually got some posts in there, and he's got pictures of him in action, standing on stage, doing a whole lot of things. I really like that. That means he's engaging with that platform. Keep doing that sort of stuff. Post your thoughts, do some videos, anything to differentiate yourself and to get visibility, especially if you're looking for a job in a new country. Leave no stone unturned. All right. I always say fortune favors the brave. Do something different. You've got nothing to lose by just putting yourself out there. Have some fun with your job search as well. But yeah, I like this one. Yeah.
And then I think not overthinking. I always see it, people overthink so much when it comes to posting some content on LinkedIn. Don't reinvent the wheel. You don't need to come up with some incredible content. Yes, so you can just share other people's content in the beginning. You can share your thoughts. It will come up. And if you're doing it consistently, you can get better and better. No one say that you're going to do the video straight away. It could be terrifying for some people. But once you start doing a few bits and pieces, it gets better. Look, I'm streaming every week, sometimes twice a week, You don't have to do that. But eventually, as more you practice, as more you're consistently putting your efforts, as better your content will get. We do have quite a few questions there, but we're really running out of time. But I think there's a question there about do we need to focus on just last couple of roles or only when it comes to the about section? I think it's about focusing on the relevant roles. I think that's the most important thing. And then the guys have mentioned it a few times, what role you're actually looking for, and focus on that and make sure your keywords is kind of around that. So have that clarity, in what direction you want to go. Guys, thank you so much. We literally, have 10 seconds left. Thank you so much for your insights. I feel like we covered like heaps and give a lot of tips just for people looking at others people's profile. I think you can learn a lot and adjust your profiles accordingly. I'll put a link to both Ben and Jonathan's website so you can actually book the free complimentary sessions with them, complimentary introductory sessions. If you have some questions about your LinkedIn profiles or resumes, make sure to take these opportunities, go to the website and book the complimentary sessions because you can Google it, you can, watch videos like this, but when you have this like a one-on-one interaction with someone who's done it for years, and those 15 minutes spent with Ben and Jonathan will be more value for you than like hours scrolling through the YouTube channel. So make sure click on the links. I'll put it in the comments in the video and book those sessions. And just quickly before we finish, next live stream will be on the 18th of September. I'm going on holiday, so I'm not going to be here for the few weeks. Please don't miss me so much, but I'm still going to, post something on LinkedIn, of course, while I'm away. But next session we're going to do on 18th of September, and it will be a session on the prompt engineering. So really, buzzy topic at the moment. Everyone obviously talking about AI and stuff. And prompt engineering, it seems like that kind of the known and unknown. So you kind of feel like you know what is it, but what actually it is. So we're going to uncover it on the 18th of September. And actually, you can use a lot of prompt engineering to help you with your LinkedIn profile and resume and the job search and other things. So definitely make sure to tune in on the 18th of September. Again, with so many people saying thank you. Lizzie, thank you. Have a lovely holidays. Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you guys for your feedback. Thank you guys for being here. And I'm sure we'll organize another session because I feel like it's definitely been a great success. But whoever is participating in the next session, you need to make sure you watch this session, correct all the mistakes, and only then send your LinkedIn profile for reviews. So thank you, Gary. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ben and Jonathan. I'm sure I'll see you around.
Thanks for having us. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
See you.